It's Dean here from Maverrik. We're just playing with our stuff. Hopefully you're watching us. We're live on all our social channels today, and we're on for our second live in our new studio.
Yes.
And Luke, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about how you should turn down your phone during a live so it doesn't repeat.
Other than that,
today we're planning on going through the messages we receive predominantly on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Basically the sales messages, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to just sift through probably the worst ones that we get.
Yeah. So if you've had a dodgy sales message on a social media channel, do let us know in the chat, because we'd love to hear how annoying they are. Yes, we know that everybody's just trying to make a living. Yeah, so let's just do that. We won't kind of name and shame anybody, because I think that's wrong.
Yeah,
but
no calling outs. But
there are people who are doing things, and you think you could do this so much better. So if you're watching us and perhaps you've had a sales pitch on a social channel, Facebook, LinkedIn, anything like that, do share in the comments or ask a question and we'll answer it. But Luke, I want to ask you, what's the worst sales message you've had so far?
There's been quite a few actually. As the lead up to the end of the year is going on, you're getting a lot of, oh hey, I'm prepared for the New Year messages. But the ones I hate the most are the ones that directly want me to call them straight away, even though I have no idea who they are. I've never seen any of their content. Yep. And it's immediately just a huge paragraph explaining who they are.
Yeah.
You call it War and Peace all the time, because it is. Because it's like, hi, I'm Andrew. Thanks for connecting. By the way, here's my life story. Also, I want to call you right now, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah. I think what a lot of people do is they forget that the purpose of messaging is to have a conversation, and if you send your life story, you effectively you're not creating a conversation, you're broadcasting.
Yeah, you're a billboard.
Yeah, you're a billboard.
You don't talk to a billboard.
No.
Some people do, but it's, you know.
You look at it, and if it's interesting, you bite and go, what should I do? And if it's not interesting, you kind of ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of both, isn't there? Because you can have the hi, how are you, and the small talk. And I've been small talking with someone for a couple of days now. And I'm just I'm waiting for the bite. I'm just you just want to be my friend, or... But so it needs to be a little bit of both, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some where it's like, hi.
Yeah.
And I say hi back, and they go, how are you? And I'm like, why is this taking so long to get to the point?
It's a bit ominous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It also feels like you're trying to a chat bot.
Yeah, and then the other ones you get are kind of so you get the extreme of, here's my life story. Then you get the really short ones, the hi, how are you? Then you get the quirky ones, the people who are trying to be cool. So I know your inbox is probably rammed full of crap, but can you bear me a minute before you flush me down the drain? And I'm like,
bear me a tuppence of your time, old wordsmith. Yeah. I am here to try.
But one thing I have seen, and I think this is really bad, as people outsource their LinkedIn, they're not really certain what people are doing with their LinkedIn. And let me give you an example. So I got 2 connection requests on exactly the same day from leadership coaches. 2 connection requests with two of the same, connection messages. So I thought, let's have some fun here, because they came literally within half an hour of each other. So I accepted them both. And then the classic sales pitch follow-up about their unique coaching systems that helps do X, Y, and Z. But literally the connection message was identical. The only difference was the sign-off was a different name. And then the follow-up message they sent was exactly the same.
So to the letter.
To the letter.
The punctuation and everything.
So, but the problem is, if you've got a company managing your LinkedIn and they do this, I know for a fact some of them, if they get friction back, they delete and block the person.
Yeah.
So that the client doesn't see what's happened in their name.
Oh, so obviously they've gone to someone to say, oh, can you manage my LinkedIn?
Yeah.
And they've got the same data list with the same message template.
Yeah.
And then obviously, to cover their tracks, they're delete. But the damage's already done there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
And the other one, I was on a call last night with our accelerator students, and one of them got the exact same message from two coaches. So there must be a company somewhere that we do LinkedIn for coaches or something.
So if you're a coach, beware, really.
They got exactly the same template message. One was from Sue. No. One was from Sue, and it was signed off David. And one was from David, signed off as Sue. You got the messages mixed up. So I thought that was really funny. But what's the kind of messages you're getting, and what do you think are the good practices for sending outreach messages? Yes, we've all got to do business. We're all trying to reach new people, and we've got to get a conversation. Are there any tips and tricks that you've used that have worked?
Yeah, I'm reading through the chat now. Unfortunately, Raj, we don't understand Hindi in the chat, so it might have to be English on that one so we can answer your question. I'm trying to scroll down as well, but my phone is having.
Luke's broke his phone,
right now.
apart from doing the audio. So, my tips to people when they're doing a message is the quicker you can get into conversation, the better. I'm like a stuck record when I talk about if you're going out there, and we see this all the time, people sending LinkedIn message saying, hey, do you need a mobile app, or do you need whatever? And they're trying to sell a specific product or service. But actually you haven't identified the client's need or pain points. So how do you tailor that service to what they're looking for and what they're trying to achieve? And as Luke said, these kind of war and peace sales pitches are just a nightmare. They don't really work. And what do you do if the people say no thanks, but you want to try again in the future because they weren't there now, but they are there? Do you go back after they've said no thanks?
Yeah, people treat messages as the first point of contact with their whole campaign on social media, which is the wrong way of doing it, really. Yeah. You can't just outright just go up to talk to someone. If you take it as if you're going to talk to anyone in like a networking event, or if you're at a bar just wanting to say hi, just walking up to someone and just doing that can be awkward for both parties, and it can lead to some tension and friction there as well.
Yeah,
you need to make a good first impression immediately. Or you could do it a better way and actually, warm up the lead and, show who you are and what you're about beforehand. Because, if you're just shouting at people across the street, it's not going to do any...
Yeah, but people need to trust you and build a relationship with you. People buy from people, yet we often talk about it like people are robots. And they're really not. You've got to build trust. If people don't trust you, you think about any kind of sales process. When you're trying to sell something, if you get a meeting with a prospect, in that first meeting, you've got to build rapport, you've got to get them to see the value of you. Why can't you do that before you ever pitch?
Yeah, if you walk through a door and someone goes, hello, welcome, sit down, and you're chatting normally, then it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Like, it feels natural as well.
Yeah. And sales, should feel natural. It shouldn't feel forced, it shouldn't feel... aggressive, and people forget it's really easy to fall into this kind of robot and just churn out the same copy and paste message without any tailoring, and then people go, oh, social media doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work because
you're not using it. You're not being social.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're treating it like a system.
Yeah.
You just push a few buttons and you think, when it comes out, it's going to be a nice present, but
yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
They're actually treating it like Facebook ads or something. If I just send out these messages, I'll get clicks or I'll get bites. And it's like you're playing a numbers game that's pretty dangerous. It's pretty risky to your accounts as well. I mean, social media, I know people who've gone nuts on Facebook, friend requesting people on Facebook and then sending sales pitch messages and then got blocked, and Facebook goes, oh, no, you're not sending any messages anymore.
Yeah.
And the same happens on LinkedIn. Same happens on all of them, really.
Yeah, you get enough, I don't know you, or, this is harassment, go away posts, and obviously the account itself will start to deteriorate, and then you have to start again. And that's just a time waster then, isn't it?
I tell you what is funny, though. We can have a giggle at our own expense. You know what they say? If you can't take you too... If you don't laugh... What is it about?
If you can't laugh at yourself, you should be laughing at anyone else.
So let's have a few bit of fun mocking Maverrik for a minute, because I think this is really funny. So during lockdown, we had a whole new team of people join. So that we said to them, get active on your social channels, go out there, build connections. And this is one occasion where the algorithm turns against you. So we had 5 people join us. 5 people join us through lockdown.
During lockdown? I think it was just under, it was 4 or 5.
Whatever it is, 4 or 5 people. And we encouraged them all to go on social media, particularly LinkedIn. We're big on LinkedIn. We love LinkedIn. And of course, when you're on there, LinkedIn starts suggesting people to connect with. And this one guy,
oh, no.
this one guy got suggested to all the team on one or two particular days. And literally the people who write our blogs, the content writers and the admin people were all getting suggested this person. And, not to sell, we just tell, we're a big deal about saying to people, publish content, write your thoughts on, get your name out there as an employee, tell people about what you do, but you don't need to sell. So these guys weren't selling, they weren't sending messages.
They just wanted to, build up their connection pool and use
But LinkedIn
system.
put this one guy in the middle of 4 or 5 people all going, and he goes, I've had 5 connection requests today from your company, please stop. And it's like, we didn't even know. But these are some of the things you have to kind of factor in. Sometimes the algorithm can work for you and against you, and sometimes the algorithm favors you in a particular way that actually can cause an annoyance.
So he was chosen by LinkedIn.
LinkedIn decided.
Just said, everybody in Maverick's going to love you. Connect with him right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, everybody tried to. And it must have looked like a pincer move.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could say about, if talking about sales messages, the communication between the sales messages you're going to be sending to anyone or anyone you're trying to approach. If you're working as a team, you need to communicate exactly who you're going to target and talk to. Otherwise, you're going to get an email from
mental note for our onboarding process.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing I've noticed, Luke, and I know we didn't brief this, and we're only on for a short time today, but fake profiles.
Yeah, there's a few out there.
That was an underwhelming response.
There's a few out there.
So a lot of people are talking, about creating fake employees. And we talked about this. Somebody accused me of being not a real person last time.
Yeah. In the chat at the end, we noticed that some guy said it was proof because you said the words, I'm not a robot, which is what a robot would say.
So these fake profiles, why would you create a fake profile? So if you want to do an aggressive messaging strategy, you would create not a ton, but fake profiles, and you would churn messages, literally the same message over and over and over to people, just looking for the people who bite.
It sounds like such a bad idea. That's why I was like, oh yeah, fake accounts, because it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Yeah. And it's just a way of getting.
And I did this as an example, and I think it's rather funny because he gets sales pitched all the time. So I created and did live demo of a fake account and created this alter ego Dean and put him on LinkedIn, and he is inundated with sales pitches, absolutely inundated with sales pitches. But I actually taught in a live session, I did our 7-step LinkedIn selling process on this account, where his top skill is eating dog food for a living. Yeah? Top skill, eating dog food.
He was a taste tester.
Yeah. And his other second skill on his LinkedIn profile was dog whispering. He could communicate with animals. So I used our 7-step prospecting system on this account. And in 14 days, I got him a consulting gig with a venture capital company.
That's impressive.
And not a fake one, not a fake company, a well-known company that had probably in trouble for embarrassing them if we said who it was.
I mean, if he talked the talk, I guess it kind of worked in the sense of a strategy, went through.
And what I don't understand is why I understand why people create fake profiles. They create them to burn through messages, burner accounts, a bit like people say about burner phones. They're burner LinkedIn accounts to basically churn through messages, find the people who bite, and if the account's shut down, restricted or banned, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, they probably run chatbots as well, don't they? They go through automation. And just automation systems where just message after message after message after message.
The problem is once you've done that, who do you go back to?
Yeah, what's the follow-up, what's the end goal?
I got one message from somebody who's got an OBE. I may have said too much there. Sales message inviting me to be part of something that she was doing.
Yeah.
I'll not say any more. I replied to the message, no response. She sent a follow-up message. I'm trying to be careful I don't trip up because I don't want to. She sent a follow-up message saying, just coming back on this.
Oh, to see if you're interested,
Yeah.
even though you said, yes, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I replied again, no response.
You've been trolled.
So it's like sometimes some of this stuff you get so clever you can't keep up with it.
Yeah, or with if you've got like loads of messages, you're trying to do the follow-ups on each one, but you sent out a big batch saying, oh yeah, you're interested in this. And then if someone comes back and says, yes, I am, and then you don't talk back to them for 7 to 10 days, even though the event was like a couple of days ago, or it was a...
So I always test them. This is a great way to test whether it's a real person behind the message, is if you reply pretty quick, see how long it takes them to come back.
Yeah.
Because if it takes a long time, if they've just sent you a message and you reply straight away and it takes them a long time to come back, it means there's nobody behind the account. It's a robot or it's a bot or
it's set to a certain amount of time.
Yeah. It takes time for somebody to realise that there's actually a real message there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you never even get a reply. So, have we got any comments? How do you become a great motivational speaker? I don't know. I think you just have to share your experience. That's a really unusual question for about LinkedIn messages, but everybody wants to be a speaker.
I'd say bolster your self-confidence and just go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be honest. I think I've worked in some I know we're kind of going on a weird detour here.
Yeah.
It was somebody's comment, so we'll answer it. I've been in some very, very corporate jobs and, had to do the suit and tie thing. And I was never really comfortable. I always felt like I was somebody else. I was pretending to be somebody else.
Yeah.
And so when we did this, I decided I'm going to do it as me. I'm not going to do the suits. I'm not going to pander to any other place do it. People will buy into our business. They'll buy into what we do and they'll buy into me as me. And when I do my talks, so I can't remember how many we did last year, 100 events, something like that.
Yeah, it was at least like 2 a week.
100 events, live events in person. It was 2 a week. It's knackering, but it was really fun to be around so many people. I just talked like I talk now.
Yeah.
And my jokes, some of them absolutely bombed, and some of them people laughed.
Obviously, you'll have different crowds, won't you?
Yeah.
Depending on where you are, and then at the start, you was probably just building it up, getting your act, I'd say, because it's what comedians do. They have their scripts of what they say, what beats they use, what jokes work, what don't work, and it's just refining that. And
you have to know your own story. You have to be comfortable in your own skin and share what you genuinely know about.
Yeah.
It's really easy to go online and learn something and regurgitate it, but people can feel like the conviction in what you're saying, the whether you believe it or whether you're just saying stuff. Coaching businesses. How do you get leads for coaching businesses? So I've shared this in some of our live trainings on YouTube, and we're going all over the place, but we've got a couple of minutes, so I'll try and wrap this up before we get cut off by our production team.
Give it a few hours.
If you want more coaching clients in your business, whether it's a startup or an established one, first things first, your answer is not ads. Yeah. If you're looking to get coaching clients, your answer is not advertising. It's not paid ads. It's not PPC. I'm going to upset some people here. You cannot promote your coaching business until you have mastered it organically. This is my belief, and some people can disagree with me, but to make an ad work, you need to understand how people react, and so you have to test it organically, first of all. So number one, test it organically. LinkedIn, Facebook, dead easy. Then you have to have a pressing pain point that you can solve for your customer. One real pain point that absolutely is hurting people to the point where they want to change. So I would encourage you to map out your pain point and then go organic with content, asking questions about that pain point, and people will engage with you based on that. That's the first start. Whoever asked this question, Raj, was it? You should check out our content webinar we did last night, because that would really help you, in our LinkedIn lead generation training session on Tuesday. It's all free. It's on Tuesday. You sign up on Eventbrite. Go for Maverrik on Eventbrite. Search Maverrik. You'll find our events, and it's on there, I think.
Yeah, most of the I'm gonna say most of the questions you have about generating leads and or content wise, you cover every week in like a free
Yeah.
live training webinar.
And
So,
some people think we're nuts for doing these free trainings.
I know because you mentioned before, like that's some great advice which some people can take and they can make.
Yeah, they can go, thanks, Maverrik, for
Yeah.
that. I don't need you.
Exactly. But it's what we do.
Yeah, and the thing is, particularly for coaches, and it's true for us as well, it's true for any kind of business where they're imparting expertise or knowledge or insight. It's not the information that's valuable, it's the organization of the information that's valuable.
Yeah.
So we can give all of this information out for free, and some people will pick it up and go, I can construct all that together myself. But those people probably would do that anyway. And for coaches, there's some people who are looking to pick your brains that will never buy your service, but you think they're interested because they're asking you questions. Whereas there are people who are dealing with a problem that know some of the answers, probably instinctively know the answers, but
Yeah.
they don't know how to put all the pieces together.
Or realize that this piece is missing, or realize that there's a different picture they're trying to make when they should be making,
And so what we do is not necessarily about the information. Yes, we give lots of it away for free. And if you watch most of our YouTubes, you can construct everything we teach. Probably, piecing it all together if you're that kind of mind. But if you're not, we're the kind of people who help you slot everything together and then go, why would you do that? And tweak it so that we adjust your thinking to make it work. But yeah, all of our stuff, well, not all of it, but a lot of it's free.
Yeah, so check out the YouTube channel, check out the lives, go into our Eventbrite, and then you'll see the meatier stuff can be found there, essentially, because this is just going to be a very overview, really. Whenever we answer these questions, they're going to be a bit overviewish, because we've only got a certain amount of time, because we're going to start doing this every day. So it's going to be very quick fire discussions, topics, and advice.
And we go live to every social channel all at once. So we're live on Facebook, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on YouTube, and other places.
Yeah, we've got the big three.
Maybe Twitter, I don't know. But this is getting easier doing this live every other day. This feels a bit easier than last time, I think.
I think mainly because we've done this once before. The first time's always going to be very like, oh, okay, we need to do this better, this better.
Yeah.
But it's the same with anything. You refine, you work on it, you get better, and then, yeah.
We hope we're getting better anyway. Luke, I think, are we wrapping up now? Should we wrap up because we've done our 15 minutes?
Yeah, we're going to wrap up right now. So on Friday, did you want to tackle any topic in particular, or would you like me to present you with some ideas I've thought about?
Luke, you tell us what we're talking about on Friday.
So on Friday, because of obviously we've had the news today about obviously vaccine rollouts and now the new lockdown system, we're still obviously trapped behind screens. Shall we discuss how to get a very good setup for your meetings and how to take those meetings and basically constructing those meetings? Yeah,
and we could add to that if people want to come in and join us. What we could do is say some of the techniques you can use to create a compelling webinar.
Yeah.
We could chew the fat over that. What do you think?
We've got plenty of time.
So I'm going to sign off now because we've been longer than our 15 minutes, but we will get better at I will get better at disciplining our time. But next Friday we'll talk about online meetings, video conferencing, and how to build a compelling webinar. And we'll share some ideas and thoughts about what a webinar should be and what should be in it.
So head back to us on Friday at 12:15 for our next Maverrik Live.
Thanks for watching, everybody.